Hello everyone and welcome back to Creative Philosophy. In today's video, you will learn how to create this character illustration using Adobe Photoshop. However, do keep in mind that the tools and methods we use are not exclusive to Photoshop only. It can also be performed in any other highly versatile photo editing program. So with that being said, let's get started. I start by importing my sketch into Photoshop, which I created using my graphics tablet. If your artwork only uses simple shapes such as the one we are about to create, you really don't need a sketch. You can easily make a reference in a vector-based program such as Adobe Illustrator or Inkscape and then export the shapes as individual layers into Photoshop. By using the ellipse selection tool, I made the shape of the character's head. Then I filled in that selection by using Shift F5 on my keyboard. You could also use the shape tool directly, but I just prefer it this way. Following that, I use the pen tool to trace out my character's hand and shoulder area. Tracing with the pen tool should be done slowly because it is one of the more time-consuming and important aspects of the process. After I finished my selection, I went to the Patch tab and renamed it so it would be saved for future use. To make a selection, simply Ctrl-click the path layer and just as before, create a new layer and then Shift F5 to fill in that selection. I duplicated the hand layer and flipped it horizontally to achieve symmetry. Our piece will be more even and pleasing to the eyes this way, and don't worry about the gap just yet, we will fix it later on. The rest of the body follows the same pattern, so I will speed this part up. To fill in the gaps of the body, we will need to create a separate body layer. To do that, duplicate both the arms by pressing Ctrl J and right click and merge them as one layer. Next, by using the rectangle selection tool, fill in the gaps. This way we have a new separate body layer and two separate arms to work with. I then used the previous technique to shape the hands, eyes, and the pupil. I divided the body and the eyes into separate groups since the color of the eyes will be different from the color of the body. I used a custom gradient that I created for the background. This gradient went well with the color scheme of the character, so if you're creating your own gradient, make sure it goes well with the character. Coolers can also be used to select an appropriate palette. Since the entire body will be the same color, I added a color overlay from the blending options to the body group. To begin texturing, control-click the body part you want to texture and create a new layer and add a layer mask to it. Next, I painted in some highlights and shadows using a textured brush and the colors from my character's palette. It is pretty much the same for the rest of the character, so I'll speed up or skip this part of the video. I duplicated and resized the eye to create the pupil, to which I added some highlights. For the character's shadow, I created a new layer underneath our character and made a selection using the ellipse selection tool. On top of that selection, I painted with the same texture brush. Finally, I made a project snapshot by using this shortcut. I then turned that snapshot into a smart object, to which I added some noise to glue everything together. Here's the final piece. I think it turned out pretty well with some minor color correction. Also, here's a different variation of the same artwork. This one includes different eye colors and stronger shadows. After watching this video, I hope you'll be able to create something similar yourself. So please leave a like if you found this entertaining or useful, and consider subscribing if you want to see more. With that being said, I will see you in the next one.